Glad to have you with us here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Tyler Jones here as we're going to take an inside look at the Kansas City Chiefs depth chart heading into the first preseason game a week from right now. Some exciting stuff ahead. We'll go piece by piece, offense, defense, and special teams. Give you my takeaways coming up in just a matter of moments. Before we do, a little challenge for the Chiefs Kingdom. We're trying to get to 56,000 subscribers on the channel before the first preseason game next week. Can we make it happen? Well, here's my incentive for you, folks. If you subscribe, then you are going to be a part of what we call a family here around the Chiefs Report, bringing you daily news and rumors, got some live shows, watch parties, Q&A mailbags, breaking news, all in one place. Your Chiefs headquarters is the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/ChiefsTV, and we'll get started with today's show. The Chiefs enter the first preseason game next week with a few questions, if you will, across the board on offense and defense. And on today's show, we're giving you our projection of what we think this first official depth chart will look like for the Chiefs heading into that preseason game next week. So let's start with the quarterback position. No surprises. Patrick Mahomes and Carson Wentz, your top two quarterbacks there. We did our roster cuts video, our 53-man roster video earlier this week, and fully expect Mahomes and Wentz to be those two quarterbacks for Kansas City when the 53-man roster eventually gets released. The running back room includes Isiah Pacheco, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, also Prince, a part of that equation as well. The Chiefs with a good core of running backs there. And also Rees-Zammit as well, a part of the equation for Kansas City. The wide receiver room includes the following, a lot of names here. Your top three include Xavier Worthy, Marquise Brown, Rashee Rice, also Sky Moore, Watson, Hardman, and others. And very competitive to see ultimately who's going to end up on this 53-man roster. And I got to say, looking at this wide receiver room, it is a night and day difference from what it was in 2023. You think about last year, the Chiefs win the Super Bowl despite having the worst receiver room in the NFL. And that's not a reach, folks. That's a fact. They were a bad receiver room last year. And now you bring in Marquise Brown, who I think is going to have a resurgence in this offense, similar to what we saw when he was with the Baltimore Ravens a couple years ago. I think Xavier Worthy is going to be really good. Rashee Rice, we'll see how that situation unfolds, but when he does come back, I think he's going to build upon what he did last year. And you have the best quarterback in the entire league who should be able to get the most out of these guys. I'm feeling very confident about this receiver room, how good it's going to be, and how creative they can get. They have guys that they can stretch the field with. They have possession receivers, a little bit of everything here with this receiver room. I am ecstatic about this group, to say the least. How would you grade the Chiefs depth chart entering 2024? What do you think? I think this is the best roster in football. I got to go with an A, personally speaking. What do you guys think? Grade it for me. A, B, C, D, or F, and let us know in the comments section. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy shows, theater productions, and more. Maybe you want to go to a Chiefs preseason game. Maybe you want to go see the Royals or Sporting Kansas City. Maybe it's a visit to the Kauffman Center downtown. You got all sorts of options, folks. Choose the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. Then you can see your seat, whether you like that seat or not. And from there, you're checking out, whether it's Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Fast, easy, and simple, folks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. All right, to the tight end room we go. This is where we find the great one, Travis Kelce, alongside Noah Gray, Jared Wiley, Irv Smith Jr., and a couple others there. And I got to say, one thing that I think we're going to be talking about over the coming weeks here on the channel is the emergence of Jared Wiley. And I'm very intrigued to see how far he comes along, how quickly he puts it together, because we really haven't seen the Chiefs have a really good number 2 tight end since Anthony Fasano was here playing with Travis Kelce when Travis Kelce was really young early in his career. And Andy Reid did a really good job of getting the most out of both those two, running those 12 personnel packages, which played to the strength of Alex Smith, who loved to use the tight end position. If they can get Jared Wiley to really start to pick things up, if you will, and use him and Kelce effectively together, watch out. Not to mention, Kelce's getting a little bit older, right? That will make life easier on Kelce to have another option to play alongside Wiley there. I am very excited about that group. Let's go to the offensive line now, and you may have noticed something right away. We're going with the king, the rookie, to start at left tackle over Wanya Morris, folks. He has been terrific in training camp. He's been leading the way. Joe Thuney is back. Creed Humphrey is there. Trey Smith, Jawan Taylor as well. The media out there, the mainstream media, if you will, has kind of criticized this Chiefs offensive line. There's not a whole lot of hope and faith, if you will, in this group from the talking heads. I'm more bullish on this offensive line than most people are. I think people are underestimating the crucial role that Creed Humphrey presents. I think Kingsley, it's going to be a learning curve, but if they trust him enough to play left tackle, if Andy Reid trusts you enough to play left tackle, that's enough to sell me, all right? You got the best center in football, Creed Humphrey, there. You got a very good veteran in Joe Thuney and others. I think this is going to be a very good offensive line, and if it's not, there's still time for the Chiefs to go make some changes and find some other pieces. They got money, they got capital to do so. What's your confidence level in the Chiefs offensive line right now? What do you think? 1 through 10, how you feeling about this group? I feel pretty good. I feel better than most. I'm about a 7.5 or an 8 right now. What's your confidence level at? Weigh in, let us know in the comments section. Let's move to the defensive side of the ball now, and this is where we find Karlaftis, Chris Jones, Derrick Nnadi, and company there. A very good group and some good options backing them up as well. I think we're going to see more of King Felix this year. Charles Omenihu, hopefully he can get back there soon. Wharton and company. There's some good bodies, some good depth on that D-line. The linebacker room, I like this group a lot too, and I think that they're kind of being sold short, if you will, between Leo, Nick, and Drew. These are some good pieces and some decent backups behind them as well. This is sneaky good. And Nick Bolton, I was pretty high on coming out of the University of Missouri. And we've seen him play pretty well, right? But we're waiting to see him take that next step up. And he was talking about earlier this week in training camp that his big emphasis is going to be on turnovers, that he wants to create more turnovers. He felt like he missed on a couple interceptions last year. If he can create a few more turnovers, watch out, folks. This linebacker room is going to be good. The secondary for the Kansas City Chiefs looks different this year with the departure of L'Jarius Sneed. You still have Trent McDuffie there. Justin Reid's a little banged up right now, but he's expected to be a full go when the season begins. Brian Cook, among others there. And replacing Sneed, not going to be easy. I think we all are aware, we all know that L'Jarius Sneed was coming into his own, had the best season of his career last year. But it's not going to be just one guy that replaces L'Jarius Sneed. It's going to take a collective effort to get the job done. And one of the ways that it's going to be collective is Trent McDuffie. He was talking about earlier this week in training camp that his role of sorts, if you will, what he's looking to do on this defense is to take on the best corner, the best receiver, rather. There was times that he said, hey, he was lining up in the nickel and he was taking on guys, number 3 and 4 receivers and letting Sneed have the best of the best sometimes. Well, now he's going to do that. And I think you're going to like the results because McDuffie's one of the very best, if not the best corners in all of football. Who's going to be a breakout player for the Chiefs this season? Give me a name that comes to mind. I like me some Jared Wiley, folks. You heard it first. Who do you like? Weigh in. Let us know in the comments section. The most fascinating special teams unit in the NFL is what I have dubbed this group, with America's kicker, Harrison Butker, leading the way. He will also be the kickoff specialist this year. Matt Araiza, known as the punt god, He is going to take over punting duties this year. Well, James Winchester, one of my favorite guys. I've known James for a long time, and he's been a good friend. Excited to see that he's sticking around at the long snapper position, and some good pieces to work with in the return game. And obviously, return coverage and kicking is going to be different with the new rules this year. Interested to see how they use Xavier Worthy in that regard as well. Special teams is not going to hold this Chiefs team back by any stretch of the imagination. If anything, it's going to make this team better. Folks, thanks for joining us here on the Chiefs Report. For continuing Chiefs coverage, subscribe now, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. We got you covered. I'm Tyler Jones, and we'll see you next time.